Hello, and welcome to Phonoptic Media's instructional video on setting up the Soundcraft Si Expression 2 24-channel live digital console as the last DAC interface you will ever need using the FireWire multi-digital expansion card. As you can see from the iPad interface, there's quite a lot of input and output that this console can handle. This console can handle up to 54 mono inputs, 6 stereo inputs, and provide 14 auxiliary mixes in addition to the main stereo bus. Let's take a look at the input section. It's a 24-channel console, but we can mix 54 channels. How can we do that? The first 24 channels are analog XLR inputs, which is what the board is designed to do. We are going to use the direct out patch feature on the console to send these signals down the FireWire to our DAW. The output of the DAW will be routed down the FireWire returns to these channels. Let's take a closer look at our inputs. The first 24 channels of our console are analog XLR inputs. Each of the 24 analog XLR inputs will be duplicated and sent down the FireWire bus on the same related channel. Now let's take a closer look at the next 30 channels on our console. These are going to be our FireWire returns from the DAW. Routing the FireWire returns from the DAW to the console is a little trickier, since we have to reserve channels 1 and 2 on our DAW for things like QuickTime, iTunes, and such. To compensate for this, we start our numbering on the console at FireWire bus 3 into input 25, up to FireWire bus 32 coming in on channel 54. But we're not done yet with our inputs. Let's take a closer look at our stereo inputs, which come from 3 different sources. The first stereo input is the 1/4-inch analog built in on the console. The second stereo input is FireWire bus channels 1 and 2. This is the default stereo channel coming from the DAW software, which also carries our click track. Stereo input 3 is the internal effects 1 return, and same with stereo input 4, 5, and 6. These are the returns from the internal lexicon effects bus. Now that we've routed all our signals into the console, how can we monitor when overdubbing or playing live? Let's take a closer look at our output section. Since our clients hire us to do both live and overdub sessions, we decided to split our console in the middle and use live and in-ear monitors. We decided to use the first 6 mixes as monitor outputs. These directly feed each of the first 6 XLR outputs on the console. This is a live situation where you would plug in a monitor and just play live. To add more flexibility to our mixing options, we decided to assign Mix 9 and Mix 10 as stereo VCAs. Mixes 11 through 14 are stereo in-ear monitors, and they appear on the XLR outputs 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14. This allows us to solve many monitoring issues regardless of tracking environment. Now at last we arrive at the main stereo output bus. This stereo output appears on XLR 15 and 16, which you would plug into your speakers so that you can listen to your masterpiece. Soundcraft allows us to duplicate our output on FireWire bus 31 and 32. The advantage of routing the output through FireWire 31 and 32 is that it allows us to record a stereo mix directly into the song that we are working on in the DAW software. From there, it's an easy matter of finding the stereo file and making an MP3 of it. We hope you have found this video informative and instructional. After more than a year of working with this console, we feel this is the most efficient way to use the power and flexibility of the Soundcraft Expression console and FireWire 32-channel bus to a DAW system.